Here it is, folks. We're going to take on the last two members of the Elite Four in this part, in Part 45. We start off, though, with the familiar face, Bruno! Apparently Bruno did not retire, even though they got rid of Lorelei. Who else did they get rid of? Oh god, what's her name? Agatha, that's it. Agatha's actually not in the Elite Four either, even though I know that's a bit of a spoiler. Bruno is still in the Elite Four. And he's not quite as big as he was in Red and Blue, is he? Red and Blue, he was this, like, huge fucker. In this game, he's still muscular, but he's not nearly as big. He also looks younger, which I find strange. Anywho, he starts off with Hitmontop. This is the new evolution of Tyrogue. It's right up there with Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Only I don't think it's as good. Bruno's actually pretty fucking smart with Hitmontop, though, and I didn't actually catch on to this until, like, 3 times of doing this. If you guys will watch, I use Fly, I fly up above Hitmontop, and then it uses Detect on the turn that I'd hit it with Fly. It protects itself so I don't hurt it. Okay. Oh, I guess I caught on after 2. But it'd keep doing that and keep hitting me with Quick Attack on the turn where I'd use Fly. Thus, he'd never get hurt, and I'd take all the damage. So, even though I really wasn't expecting that, and I do think Bruno's honestly the easiest of the Elite Four. Seriously, he's fucking pathetic. Oh, there it is again. I have to give him credit, because that's something that I wouldn't have expected him to do. The AI is pretty smart for Bruno, much to my surprise. So, after having caught on, I figured I'd give it another shot. Maybe it was like a chain thing. But no, he legitimately kept doing it. I figured after I did it the 3rd time, I was like, okay, we're changing how we're doing things, damn it. We're kicking Hitmontop's ass and we're taking names. Names being Hitmontop. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyway, I'm trying to remember Hitmontop's stats. I know it falls kind of in between Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee. I still think Hitmonlee's the best of the 3 Tyrogue evolutions. The best of the 3 Hitmons, if you will. But I do think Hitmontop is probably second best in this. Until Generation 4, then I think Hitmonchan tops Hitmontop. But Hitmonlee's still the best of the 3. So, other moves that it knows, because we've only seen 2. It knows Dig, and I forget what its last move is. It knows one other move, obviously, but I know it knows Dig. So, it's Dig, Quick Attack, Detect, and I can't remember for the life of me what the 4th one was. Obviously, it's not a fighting-type move, or else it would have used it, I assume. Maybe I'm wrong. It might be a move called Rolling Kick, or Triple Kick. Anyway, it's time for Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan, I can use Fly against, so fuck you, Hitmonchan. Fuck you. As you can see, even though this is super effective, and it does hurt a little bit, it's because Hitmonchan's a fighting type. That, however, is something you gotta watch out for. That is the same thing as Quick Attack, only fighting type. I completely forgot that was in Gen 2, and I was like, holy shit! Hitmonchan's like the only Pokemon that learns Mach Punch, though. I completely forgot while playing this that was in Gen 2. I didn't think that was until Generation 3 that they added that. No, it's in Gen 2, and it caught me off guard. Bruno also has an Onix, much like the 2 that he had in Generation 1, and this is definitely the easiest of his Pokemon to take out, seriously. As Rock and Ground tend to be. Rock/Ground is just not a good type combo. Everyone's prepared for it. Always. It's because they start preparing you from the beginning of the game for it. I'm taking this opportunity against Onix to kick up a Reflect because the last 2 Pokemon Bruno has actually are a little tough if you're not prepared. I don't know why he's even bothering with Sandstorm. The only Pokemon of his that it's going to help in any way would be Onix here, and even then, it doesn't help him that much. See? Everyone's prepared for his Onix, so Onix is easy KO. That takes us to Hitmonlee, his second best Pokemon. Oh boy. As I said earlier, Hitmonlee's the best of the Hitmon Pokemon. Hitmon Pokemon? I don't know. I think it's the best one. Some folks may disagree. His, I believe, knows High Jump Kick. I actually think Jump Kick is better than High Jump Kick because of accuracy. But it still can hurt you. Skarmory is a defensive Pokemon, like a defensive tank. Oh, and apparently it knows Swagger. I've described before what Swagger is. Anyway, because Skarmory is a defensive Pokemon, and it's Flying type, but it's also Steel type, this makes it to where High Jump Kick, even though it should do shitloads of damage, isn't going to hurt very much. And evidently Peck took fucking Hitmonlee for a ride. Holy shit. Now we come to definitely his toughest Pokemon, as everyone should expect, and that's Machamp. Machamp's annoying, not as much as in later games. Holy shit. Going back to the ability thing that I talked about a couple parts ago, in Gen 4 and onwards, the Machop line gets this ability called No Guard. It makes it to where every move they use can hit any Pokemon. Well, it guarantees that all their moves will hit a Pokemon. It'll always hit. And all the moves you use against Machamp will always hit as well. Usually, though, this doesn't amount to anything on you using moves on them, though, because they're going to be using super-powered moves. So Machamp's far worse in later games than he is in this one. In this one, the worst thing you got to worry about is Cross Chop, which has a really high critical hit rate, as you can see. Skarmory has just enough defense to survive it, if it gets a critical hit, which is crazy. Cross Chop, excuse me, Cross Chop only has 5 PP though, so I wouldn't worry too badly about it. But yeah, you may want to be ready, because it will take you out pretty quick if you're not careful. Shit. Shit, I think this is going to do me in. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Holy shit. I lucked out. But yeah, his Machamp is definitely the toughest of his Pokemon. It's the fastest, most HP, hits the hardest. It may not be the fastest, come to think of it. I think Hitmontop might be faster. Oh, it knows Rock Slide as well as a defense against flying types. Normally, that would be bad, but since Skarmory is also a Steel type, it can handle it. Kind of sad that I'm taking on a Machamp with Peck, but as you can see, it does just fine. Took him down below half. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was the easiest member of the Elite Four, by far. I got this battle done really quickly. Once you get to this battle, it's pretty much downhill until the last battle. Why? How could we lose? You lost before, dude. It's nothing new. It's because fighting type, they're kind of underwhelming in this game. They get better as of the next generation, but in this game, they're still kind of underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. I say that a lot, don't I? Holy shit. Anyway, even though the next Elite Four member is definitely the second easiest, right after Bruno, I'm still gonna heal up because it'd be stupid of me not to. Plus, this is something you're going to want to do in between every Elite Four battle. Make sure you're healing. Make sure you're restoring any PP that you think you may need for the next battle. And if you don't know what to expect for the next battle and you're watching this for information, keep on watching, because we're going to take on the next Elite Four member here in this part as well. Because they're so much easier than the first two, I'm able to cram both of them into one part. So, I believe her name, or this lady's name, is Karen of the Elite Four. She uses Dark-type Pokemon. What does this mean? Well, what this means is that if you've been relying on Psychic types, because you can, again, Kadabra can learn Ice, Thunder, and Fire Punch, so you can easily take out Will with a Kadabra as well. Koga's weak against Psychic. Bruno's weak against Psychic. So if you've been relying heavily on Psychic type, this might be where you start having some trouble. So she starts out with Umbreon, debatably her most annoying one to take on, simply because it's straight dark. Dark-type is only weak against Bug and Fighting, and Bug-type, good luck. Aside from Mega Horn with Heracross, there's no fucking good Bug-type moves. At all. There are none. And even then, Mega Horn's not that good, in my opinion. As for fighting moves, I've gone over this plenty. There are a lot of decent fighting moves. It's the fighting Pokemon that are kind of underwhelming. Also, Umbreon is more of a tank. In fact, I actually think it is the most defensive of any Eevee evolution. I think special defense especially is where it shines. So her whole goal with Umbreon is to kind of serve as a frustrator. What do I mean? Well, you guys may have seen it earlier, but she used Sand Attack on Skarmory. It knows Feint Attack, so using Sand Attack back isn't going to help. It knows Confuse Ray. And honestly, I forget what the other attack it knows is. Maybe we'll see it. I don't know. Skarmory, once again, really good Pokemon to go with because Steel-type, man. You have no idea how good Steel-type is for so much of the Elite Four here. What do I mean? It's strong against Will. It's strong against Koga. Depending on which one you use, it can be strong against Bruno as well. And it's strong against Agatha here. Well, some of Agatha. Or wait, this isn't Agatha, it's Karen. Fuck. Anyway. Not so much the Steel type in terms of offense. I'm speaking strictly in a defensive position. Does this mean you should use Magnemite and use it defensively? Probably not. Magnemite's not very hard to take out. Skarmory, on the other hand, is a very defensive Pokemon, so that's why I think it's okay. This is just me, though. Fortress. Fortress actually works pretty well as well. Fortress evolves from Pineco, by the way, which you can get by headbutting trees. Anywho, just do your best to take Umbreon down. It's probably going to take a while, I'm not going to lie, unless you have a Fighting-type Pokemon, which I do not, or a Pokemon that know Fighting-type attacks, which again, I do not. So if you're like me and you don't, this is probably going to take a little while, but it's really not that bad. Umbreon's actually not that hard of an opponent to take out. Mostly because while it is superb defensively, and it's very frustrating to take on, its offense is not that great. Especially when up against something like Skarmory. So, with that, Skarmory's able to take Umbreon out, no problem. But this is her highest level, her supposed best Pokemon, and indeed, it is definitely a shitload tougher than fucking, Umbreon. It also knows Flamethrower, which is really bad for Skarmory, because it's super effective, whereas Dark-type attacks are not. So yeah, this is probably going to knock Skarmory out, not going to lie. But Skarmory did what I wanted it to do. I wanted Skarmory to take on Umbreon. And it did very good at that. And unfortunately for Karen, I'm pretty well prepared for fire types. I get lucky, because Crunch is the hardest hitting Dark-type attack, and that would have hurt a lot. Probably wouldn't have KO'd me, I doubt it would have, but it would have hurt a lot. Whereas this is probably going to one-shot the Houndoom. Not nearly as bad as I thought. I could take two of them. This is probably going to one-shot Houndoom. See, Rain Dance, Surf, excellent combo through the whole game. Doesn't matter what Pokemon are using it. This takes us to Vileplume, another really easy Pokemon of hers. Why? Well, because it's not dark. It's poison/grass, which gives it so many weaknesses. Unfortunately, water is not one of them. So it's time for Delibird. Do it, Santa Penguin! Never gets old. It does know Petal Dance, though, which is probably the best grass-type attack. No, I'm serious. I think it's better than Solar Beam, even. Especially if you know how to use it. If you know how to use it, you'll tear the game up. I use Fly, though. And Fly is fan-fucking-tastic. Icy Wind works pretty well, too. Just saying, Icy Wind's pretty damn good, too. Also, I love how Vileplume looks in this game. I don't know if I've made that comment yet or not. I love how it looks in this game. It looks awesome. Oh, an annoying thing I should mention about her Vileplume is that it knows Moonlight. Moonlight being a move much like Recover or Sunny, or not Sunny Day, but Morning Sun, which heal Pokemon. Anyway, I think this is actually the last Pokemon she sends out against me, and that is Gengar. Gengar, weak against Psychic type. I don't think I really need to say more. Physical attacks also work really well against it, so this is why Fly works nicely against it. And again, even the Elite Four, they're so stupid with fucking Gengar. Now, I actually don't think she's used a potion yet, and she's probably going to use it here. Oh, I'm wrong. She's fucking stupid. I would have used the potion. That would have fucked Delibird over and saved her. Anyway, I think that was the last Pokemon she sends out against me. Oh no. Ah, Murkrow. I so forgot. Murkrow! I love Murkrow. We've seen Murkrow plenty. It's dark/flying. It's weak against ice, lightning, anything that flying's weak to, really, so it shouldn't give you any trouble at all. It's probably her either this one or Vileplume's probably her easiest Pokemon. It's hard to say. Not that Murkrow's a terrible Pokemon, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's probably one of the easier ones she has. Especially since I have 20 Hyper Potions left, holy fuck. Again, I know so many people watching this are gonna be so pissed I'm using potions again. Tough shit, though. I want to get this game rolling. This is a much bigger game than the first generation. And we're nearly done. I mean, this is the last member of the Elite Four, and then we just have the champion, which we have no idea who that could be, right? Right? There's no way we met him somewhere before. You know? There's no way we know who the champion of the Elite Four is, right? Right? Anyway, as you can see, I pissed around with everything, and I should just spark the fucker from the get-go. Anyway, that was Elite Four Karen. Second easiest, I'm not gonna lie. She's pretty fucking easy. Anywho, folks, we're gonna be finishing up the Elite Four in part 46. Stay tuned, it's gonna be exciting as all hell.